Yeah, we definitely have still some more wet weather to come tonight and the severe potential too. We're looking really about after 8 p.m. to about midnight. Really, I think damaging winds is probably the bigger threat now than even hail. Heavy rainfall, yes, but it's a very small area, and I would say now it's probably well south of I-90. It is getting, I think there's still a small probability we could see some activity along 90 and further north, but I think that's lowering really towards the far southern counties. But still, we do have that potential all the way through midnight, and then things will actually improve fairly quickly after midnight. One other thing to keep in mind of tonight, too, fog potential with all the moisture available, and that we have still some ice out there. You've seen some of that already form early this morning. We could see that more overnight too. There's your severe threat too. Once again, really the highest is to the south. We're just on the really the tip of the severe threat. Once again, damaging wind is it because we could see these Boeing segments come through it, and I'll show you what I mean by there. Otherwise, you still possibility even some thunderstorms could see a little bit of small hail all the way further up into the green area, but the threat really is for those far southern counties, and we look closer at that. It's really Richland and Crawford counties, adjacent areas in Iowa. That's where the warm front, at least right now, a little bit more confident it's going to get above this area just lightly. We still got the wraparound thing that we could contend with through tomorrow morning, so Eau Claire further to the north. Probably will see some snow between about 7 a.m. to about 10 a.m., a little rain, and then turning to snow. Maybe up to an inch on grassy areas. That would be about it with that. And otherwise, we do have rises in the creeks. And right now, Kickapoo, Black, Trempealeau, and Yellow have some points along there that could get up into action stage. Just action, not minor flooding, but all rivers will start probably rising. They already have a little bit, and you see, and I've outlined them where they will have. Another one to keep an eye on that isn't quite listed yet is the upper Iowa. We'll see if that tends to go up, but this will be through the weekend too. It'll continue to be rising and then quickly fall there afterwards. So something to keep in mind if you live along the area. Tonight's rainfall is really dependent on where the thunderstorms form, so it's not quite as widespread. There's going to be one little area you can see just from there that kind of scrapes the back edge. Some of this does include late tonight too with that wraparound. And here's the main area too, just to the south of the area. That's where you could pick maybe a ½ inch to an inch. So this could change, but I think amounts will be more spotty. But if you happen to get a thunderstorm to come through, you quickly could get over a ½ inch. Right now, the warm front is just scaling right to the south. How far north this gets is really where the severe threat is. The low pressure is right there. You have a tornado watch to Iowa. That's the activity that eventually will make its way up here. And as I mentioned, you still got a lot of cold air behind this low, so a long stretch of snow basically forming across the area to the Dakotas. Temperature-wise, you can see 47 Ladysmith up to 61 Boscobel. There's a little bit of activity that started there. There's your activity we're watching towards Mason City. That's what we're going to be tracking along with stuff further to the south and west. Zoom in, just a few showers that have come through here. They have dissipated too, but this is right along where the warm front is, and that's what's going to be lifting a little bit further north. How far north? Still a little bit in question. So fairly quiet as we go throughout the evening. It's really once we get to about 9 p.m. you start seeing this activity pushed across, and keep an eye towards the Wisconsin River area right there. That's the line that could produce some damaging winds that comes through. We also have another line up here that has a little bit of a hail potential to come through too. This quickly comes through the area, and by midnight, most of the activity is pushing to the east, and all we're going to contend with for the morning hour is a little bit of light shower potential with that snow that's wrapping around up there towards Eau Claire. Sunday, though, once we cool down, it's looking very nice Sunday with a lot of 60s, and that's the choice going into Monday before we have another front slide south and we get more back to like early March weather, which does provide some snow chances. So the second half of next week is more like you would expect in early to mid-March type temperatures with some snow or rain here and there depending on things play out. But if you're further south of 990, keep tuned in. We'll probably have a line of storms to come through later this evening.
All right. Thank you, Greg.